All right, my friends, welcome. I'm Souka, and this is 60 minutes of gentle. So it's going to be a fun one. We're going to need yoga blocks, no other blocks, just yoga blocks, a belt and a blanket. And if you like having those knee pads as well, we've got the knee pads up in the corner there. They give you a really nice thing. Go to have your blanket. And make sure it coordinates with the mat as well. We're going to start our class today on our backs in a reclined bound down pose. Oh, picked up something interesting. And the reclined bound angle. I was carrying the basket around. You can create a little pillow with your head up. Yeah, that's like it. You don't want to shut the sun out, but at the same time, it's what? And it's like you have this messianic glow. It's like, oh. Or you can just pretend to sunbathe, it's still outside. All right. So recline bound angle. You're going to come down into your backs. It is okay to have something underneath your head in a shape. Bend into the knees. Plant your feet on the floor, and then you're going to take your knees out to the side, bring the soles of the feet together, and then take your yoga blocks and place them sort of underneath your knees, but it's actually so that the outside edges of your thighs and the outside edges of your shins are supported by the blocks. See if you can find a nice and neutral spine here. So you might want to tilt the pelvis one way and then the other, making the movement smaller and smaller and smaller until you find your little Goldilocks position. You're just right. Now, the reason that we place the blocks to the outside edges of the legs is so that we don't stress out the muscles and cause them to tense up if they're just hanging out in space, which means that you can actually allow the fascia and the connective tissues to lengthen out without coming into shock. And it's just a really nice way to feel supported as you start to ground down into your practice, letting go of anything that's happened on your way in this morning, anything that you have planned once you leave class today. Giving yourself permission to focus on yourself and on your practice. Just for 60 short minutes, such a small amount of your day, but at the same time, such an important part. How often do you get that opportunity to just sigh it out, just to breathe, just to focus? If it feels comfortable, you can even close down those eyes so that you can really pour the focus in. And notice how that makes you feel. We live in a world that's very fast-paced, full of stimulation, full of noise. And for a lot of us, it can feel really uncomfortable to be quiet, to be bored, to not have any other distraction, to not know the answer straight away. And I invite you to sit with that discomfort just for a bit. Take a deep breath in, fill up. Take a breath out. empty. Breath in through the nose. Fill up your belly, your ribs, your chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. One more time, inhale through the nose, taking anything you want on your inhale. Then open your mouth, let go of anything you no longer wish to carry around. Just let it go. Come back to your regular natural breath, in and out through your nose. And if it resonates with you today, I invite you to set an intention for your practice. This could be a word, phrase, mantra, even a dedication. Something that can bring you back to the present moment, back to the breath, whenever you find yourself distracted. I'll be coming around close today, offering a few hands-on assists, some gentle adjustments. If you do not wish me to be in your space, I absolutely honor and respect that. But please let me know right now, just by giving me a little wave with your right hand. Thank you so much. Slowly start to open your eyes. Bring your attention back into the room and back into the space. Take your hands to the outside edges of your knees. Reintroduce your knees just like you're closing a really interesting movement. Plug your knees into your chest, give yourself a really big up. And you can circle your hips out in one direction. Feeling into that low back. Circle out into the opposite direction. Maybe getting a little massage, even as far as the glutes. And slow that movement down. Coming all the way back to the root center. Keep your right knee hugged in. Bring your left foot down onto the mat. Feel that foot to earth connection. And then circle your foot out at the ankle. So you're going to circle your right foot out at the ankle. This is where you might get a few pops and crackles, and a few side sound effects. Take the circle into the opposite direction. And then slow that movement down. Coming all the way back through center. I've placed your yoga belts close to you so you don't have to look around for them. Unfurl that yoga belt and then place the belt around the ball of the right foot. One side of the belt is in one hand, one side of the belt is into the other. Nice gentle hold onto that belt so that you can slide through the hands. Start to work your leg up towards the ceiling, working it towards straight any amount. Bring your hands as close to your foot as feels comfortable. Arms are straight here. Now you might notice that your shoulders have come off the mat. Lift them up just a little bit more so they're really not touching the mat. And then drop them down. Allow those shoulder blades to come all the way down into the mat, but keeping the arms straight. Flex into the foot. See if you can press your hamstring just towards the picture wall while drawing your toes towards the back wall, towards that pole. Now, if your low back feels okay, try straightening into your left leg, bringing the heel down onto the mat and pulling the toes up towards the shins. Nice opening here for the hamstrings, even a little bit into those glutes. These look lovely. Taking the belt into your right foot. Extend your left arm out to the side. So it's going to act as a counterbalance. And it's a really gentle grip onto the strap so that you can take your right leg out to the side, out towards the plant wall. Maybe bend into the elbow, bringing the upper arm down onto the mat. This creates a kickstand. Opening up into that inner groin. Now, the minute you feel your left butt cheek come off the mat, you've gone a little bit too far for this opening. So back off just a little bit, maybe lift up the right leg, feeling this deep opening into the inner groin. We're maybe about 60 or 70% here, just as we open up, warming up into our practice. We'll come all the way back through center. And this is one of those ego killers. The strap now goes into the left hand. Your right arm reaches out to the side, plant and hand down. And we're going to take the right leg over, but it's only a few inches. You might notice that that right hip starts to lift off the ground pretty quickly. Imagine that it's glued down there. And notice where you feel the sensation. You might start to feel it in that outer right hip, that outer IT band area. It's really not a big movement, and that's okay. We'll come all the way back through center. That's a fun little thing. Oh, actually, we're not moving fun. We'll do that. Remove the strap, bend into the right knee, draw the left knee into the chest, circling out the hips. No fun in this yoga class, no way. I'll bring that right foot down onto the floor. Keep the left knee hugged in and then circle your foot out at the end again. This side might have different outputs. Taking the circles into the opposite direction. We'll come back through center. Really find your belt, place it around the ball of the left foot. Nice soft hold onto the strap so that it can really slide through the hands. So you work that left leg towards straight. Imagine that you can make a footprint on the ceiling and then drop your thigh bone into the hip socket. Again, we'll lift the shoulders off the mat, draw our fingers or our hands as close to our foot as possible. One side of the belt is in one hand, one side of the belt is in the other. And then drop your shoulders down into the mat, keeping both of those arms straight. Again, notice how your low back feels. And you can try straightening out the right leg, pressing the heel down onto the toes, point up towards the ceiling. See if you can draw your toes towards the prop wall any amount more. Now you're going to take the belt into the left. Reach your right arm out to the side. That creates that counterweight. And then start to open your left leg out towards the entrance door, bending into the elbow to create a kickstand. This is where you have to become really honest with yourself. Are you striving to always get the foot down onto the floor? Or can you keep your hips level? Can you keep that butt cheek on the mat? Soften whenever you feel tightness or tension. And keep breathing. So good. We'll come all the way back through center. Place the belt now into your right hand. Extend your left arm out to the side, and then it's a really small movement, just a few inches. Take your left leg over towards the plant. Each side of our body is completely different, so you might get a slightly different sensation here. Maybe you have slightly less or more movement. Come all the way back through center. Then we'll have some fun. Bend into your right knee and then bring that right foot into the belt as well. So you've got left foot and right foot. Hold onto the belt, arms are nice and straight, flex into the feet. So this is the variation of our legs up to the wall pose before we return core on our knee. Just noticing the sensations, allowing the energy to draw down in towards your midline. Deep breath in. Full breath out. You fancy a little bit of core work, just a little bit, because it's a fun one. Draw your chin in towards your trots. Roll up. Oh, there we go. We came all the way up to seated. I know, super fun. Remove the belt. We're in our Dandasana staff pose. Plant the hands down. Lift the crown of your head up. Toes point up. See, I told you we could have some fun in yoga, but no more person yet. There's your knees cross at your shins. Coming into Sukhasana or Siddhasana. Nice easy seat. You've got your blanket there. So come to sit up on the blanket, right on the very edge of it, just like you're tipping off. And that's going to neutralize out the spine, neutralize out the pelvis. Don't forget, you've got your blocks. So you can always place the blocks underneath the outside edges of the knees if you find that your knees are really lifting up and it's a little bit uncomfortable. Give yourself props, literally. All right, my friends, let's circle out the shoulders. I'm always going to do a shoulder work. And then we'll take those circles into the opposite direction. Slow that movement down, reach your arms all the way up to the sky. Lots of energy in those fingertips, pointing the fingertips up. Now, the twist is going to come from your belly button. Start to twist your chest towards the plants. Bring your left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Right hand comes behind you, creating a kickstand. Bringing fingertips to the floor or the low back. Now, see if you can draw your shoulder blades together here. Nice long space across the collarbones. And your chin stays roughly in line with your sternum. Inhale, or reach all the way back up. Reach those fingertips up to the sky. And the twist again comes from your belly button, taking that twist towards the entrance door. Right hand comes to the outside of the left side. Left hand comes behind you. Shoulder blades squeeze towards each other. If you're familiar with cat-cow, see if you can find a little tiny essence of cow pose into the upper back here. Gently press your head back. These look lovely. And then we'll come all the way back through center, reaching the arms all the way up to the sky, and then walk to the hands down. Yay, you made it down. See, we're just going to make full use of the props today. Switch out across your legs. Re-establish that foundation. And then we're going to take the yoga belt. Again, this is not about twisting it round and gripping. It's just about extending and opening up. So you're going to have a really gentle grip on the belt so that the belt can slide through your hands. Now root down through whatever is touching the earth. See if you're being an 8-year-old boy and lifting your chest up to make yourself tall. Can you lower the front ribs down, tilt the front of hip points up, create a nice firm base into those deep core muscles. And we're going to reach the arms all the way up and overhead. Now this is why you want a really gentle grip on the belt. Take arms behind this. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale, take it. Inhale up. Take it back. Come forward. Take it forward. Let's do that 2 more times. Coming up and back. Up and forward. This one. Release the strap right here. And then we'll make that grip slightly smaller. So roughly about knee width distance. Reach your arms up to the sky. Now we're going to take a side bend. But what's going to happen here is that you're going to drop the right hand. Left arm is going to lift up. Then take it over to the side. So you start to use your belt to encourage you over. Try and keep both arms straight. Inhale, we come down up through center. And then we'll take it over towards that entry door. So that left arm gets really heavy. We're trying to keep it straight. Come all the way back through center. And then let's take it over towards the plants again. And then back through center. And over towards the entrance door. Just really helps to open up that side body and relax the shoulders. Come all the way back up through center and then release the shoulders. Circle out those shoulders in one direction and then circle them out in the other. You can remove the belt, place it towards the top of the mat. If you have gloves underneath your knees, place those onto the top of the mat. Come off your front and then we'll come into tabletop position. So either roll over your knees Not uncross the legs, coming onto the shins and coming into a tabletop. Remember, you can always pad out your knees either by unfolding your blanket one fold, and that helps to give you a little bit of extra space for your shins and knees. Or if you've got that funky little knee pad, that's also a lovely option. You're better. In our tabletop position, wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, hug everything into the midline. You're going to drop your belly, lift your tailbone, and then lift your heart center through the goalposts of your arms. Notice if you're practicing into the neck, but allow the gaze to just naturally follow as you lift up. Use your exhale to round through your spine. See if you create a lovely even dome across the upper back, chin to chin. Inhale into your cow pose. And then exhale back into your cat. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. And then exhale back to your cat. Inhale, coming all the way back into a neutral spine position. You're going to bring your big toe knuckles to touch. Take your knees out wide. Reach your hips back towards your heels. And then we're not going all the way down into child's pose straight away. Walk your hands forward. Keep your chest lifted. And then thread your right arm underneath your left armpit. Then draw your forehead down onto the mat. Keep extending your fingertips, those left fingertips towards the top corner of the mat. This is actually a pose from our yin yoga practice. So where can you soften here? When we practice yin, we kind of find an edge of discomfort. Not pain, but an edge of discomfort that we can hold for a little bit and then allow our muscles to release so that we can get into that function. This is another really beautiful stretch for your shoulders. If we were practicing yin, we would be holding this for between 3 and 5 minutes. But we want to move. So take another 3 rounds of breath in and out through your mouth. And then we're going to come back through center. So you're going to press into your left hand, lift the chest just enough. You're going to reach that right arm bar. Taking the full body stretch with the upper torso. Take a moment to become aware of how each side of your body might be feeling a little different. And then let's take it to the second side. So lift your chest enough that you can thread your left arm underneath your right armpit. You can always bring that left shoulder down to the mat, your head comes down to the mat or onto a block, and extend your right arm forward, encouraging the fingertips towards the top corner of the mat, while at the same time, encouraging your left fingertips towards the block. Use your exhale to sink your hips back towards your heels just a little bit. And then become aware of where you might be holding on to tension. Can you use your exhale to release? Deep full breath in as a community. And a complete breath out. In your own time. Take 3 more quality breaths. Gently start to press into that top hand enough that you could lift your chest to bring your right hand forward. Come up onto 10 fingertips, press your hips back towards your heels just a little bit more. Then bring those palms down onto the mat, leggings them through the shoulders. Fun little move here, with your hands pressed down onto the mat, we're going to snake our way through our arms and come down onto our bellies. So you can all through onto your belly. It's fun, you can just pretend you're a snake. It's the end of the year of the snake, so let's embody that for the last few weeks of that practice. Create a little pillow with your hands. Bring your forehead down onto the hands, and let's windshield wiper them side to side. Noticing how this feels. And then come all the way back through center. Bring your feet down onto the floor. Find your belt. Find that good belt. Hopefully pretty close by. And take the belt behind you. And hold onto the belt with your thumbs kind of like down by your thighs. Hands up, curled into the belt. Imagine that you can pull the belt apart. So your hands are roughly shoulder width distance apart. Imagine that you can pull that belt apart. And as you do that, press your pubic bone down. And draw your hands back towards the wall behind you, lifting that chest up. So this is a variation of our Shalabhasana, or locust pose. Really using the belt to pull us back. Lower all the way down to the ground, soften the grip on the belt, place one cheek on the mat. All right, best things come in twos, right? Apart from the things that come in threes. So we're going to bring our chin back down onto the mat. Start to pull the yoga belt apart. I promise it won't actually pull apart. And as you start to pull it apart, lift your belly button up. Draw your tailbone back towards the wall behind you. See if you can keep all the toes down onto the mat. Can you lift your chest off the mat any amount more? For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way down. So good. Release the belt, place it off towards the top of the mat. So that it's there. And other cheeks towards the mat. You're going to wiggle out of your hips, windshield wet to the legs, whatever feels good. Then come all the way back through center. Bring your hands so that they're underneath your elbows, roughly in line with your low floating ribs. And press up into your tabletop position. As you get back into your tabletop position, cheeky few rounds of cat-cow, dropping the belly, lifting tailbone, lifting the chest, tuck, curl round through the spine, out for the cat pose. Inhale into your cat. And then exhale into your cat. One more time, inhale, cow pose. And then exhale, cat. Come all the way into a neutral spine. Now we're going to take our hands forward just a few inches past our shoulders. I have another student who does not like downward facing dog. He says every time he hears that, he groans internally. Spin your biceps forward. So if he's in my class, I make sure I have at least 5 downwards. Curl your toes under. So you can get all of the toes down onto the mat, feeling that stretch into the fascia of the foot. Now lift your hips all the way up and back. I encourage you to keep your knees bent to start off with, so that you can draw your ears alongside your biceps, lift your tailbone up to the sky, and maybe draw your belly button towards your thighs. Now you could take your dog for a walk here, pedaling out the knees, tucking the hips from side to side. Nice soft gaze, gazing back to either your thighs or the wall behind you. Now start to slow that movement down. Maybe you start to straighten into the legs any amount, drawing your heels down towards the mat. Take a deep breath in here and a full breath out. Walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Bend your knees gently, allow your belly to drape over your thighs, coming into ragdoll, Uttanasana ragdoll position. See if you can embody the essence of a ragdoll. You have no bones. Head is super heavy. And maybe you rock from side to side, backwards and forwards. Switch out the cross of your arms. You can nod your head, shake your head. Take the head in gentle circles in one direction and gentle circles into the opposite. Release your hands all the way down to the mat. Allowing the arms to hang super heavy, getting a little bit more traction, a little bit more length into the spine. And then draw your chin towards your chest and start to roll up to standing inch by inch, stacking bone on top of bone. It's almost like you're a little transformer here. Head is the last thing to come up. Tadasana, mountain pose. But for this mountain pose, our feet are going to be hip width distance apart. Press into your heels, both edges of your heels. Press into your big toe mounds, your little toe mounds. Lift your toes up, spread them nice and as wide as they can go. Now, without looking down, without doing the same thing with your fingers, your jaw, your eyes, or even your tongue, we're going to bring our little toe down to the mat, followed by the next and the next and the next, till all of the toes come down onto the mat. Feeling that foot to earth connection, feeling how solid the ground is beneath you, and feeling how much you move just to stay still. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up to the sky, take up space. Exhale, hollow out your belly, fold forward, hands come outside your feet, halfway lift, nice neutral spine, create a figure 7. Exhale, follow out your belly and fold back down to the ground. Root to rise, reach your arms all the way up to the sky. And exhale, we bring our hands all the way back to heart center. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, arms sweep all the way around and up. Exhale, hollow out your belly, fold forward. Lift halfway, nice and long. Exhale, we fold forward. Root to rise, reach your arms all the way around and up. And exhale, hands come all the way back home to heart center. Bring our hands down by the sides. We're going to walk to the top of the mat. Patty called this her sobriety test. But we're not just going to walk. We're going to heel, full toe, articulate through the feet. And I see a lot of people doing this, kind of walking on tight ropes. We're just walking, but we're actually articulating through the feet. So heel, full toe, heel, full toe, heel, full toe. All the way to the top of the mat. Just really feeling that foot move as you get to the top. You all passed your sobriety test. Well done. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up to the sky. Exhale, follow out your belly, fold forward. Lift halfway, nice and long. Exhale, fold forward, find your blocks. Plant your hands on your blocks. We'll come into a cocktail table position. With your hands on your blocks, you're going to bend into your left knee. Extend your right arm out so that it's parallel with the floor in line with your collarbone. Twist comes from your belly button. Open your chest towards the plants. Try and keep that arm in line with the collarbone. Notice the sensation. In my body, am feeling it in my hip and in the outside of that right thigh. You might have someone completely different. Right hand comes down to the block, left leg straight. Then we're going to bend into the right knee. Extend your left arm outside of parallel with the floor, and then take that twist towards the entrance door. Sensation might be completely different on the side. Come all the way back through center, plant your hands on the blocks. We're going to come into a kind of like funky little version of a curtsy or a Shiva squat. So with your hands on your blocks, bend into your knees. Get a little teeny tiny bend into your knees. You're going to press into your left foot and then take your right foot behind you. Right knee comes behind the left. Toes can stay down on the mat. And then bend your knees, maybe lower the hips. Little curtsy. This is also a Shiva squat. Come all the way back through center, bringing that right foot back down to the mat. And then we'll do the same thing on the second side. So you're going to bend into your knees. It's almost like a chair pose. Press the weight into the right foot and then take your left foot around. Left knee comes behind the right. See if you can squat down just a little bit more. Little Shiva squat on the second side. Inhale, you come all the way back through center, bringing that left foot in line with the right, back into that flat back position. Move your blocks back, bend into your knees, and then you can step your right foot back all the way down. Take a moment, make sure your feet are hip width distance apart or wider. And then allow that back knee to descend down onto the mat and untuck your toes. Walk the blocks back so that they're back underneath your shoulders and your chest is nicely lifted. And then take a moment to look at your front knee. Make sure that front knee is tracking over the front ankle and you're really pressing into the heel of the front foot. You can bring your left hand to your thigh, bring your right hand to your thigh, and then lift your torso up. Now, energetically draw your heel and your knee towards each other. So we're in more of a 90-90 here. You feel like you can reach your arms all the way up to the ceiling with your biceps gently alongside your ears, that long line of energy. Really lovely. Hands come all the way back down onto your blocks. Heel take your front foot forward just a few inches past your knee. Move the blocks back again so they're back underneath your shoulders. And we're going to take the hips back, straighten into that front knee. Coming into our half monkey god pose. Ardha. And then come forward into your lunge, but this is a longer lunge, so maybe you want to drop the back hips down, sensation will be different. Come all the way back into your half splits, drawing your toes up towards your shins, and then bend back into that front knee. Let's do that one more time because it's fun. Taking it back into our half split. This time pause and hold here, keeping the chest nice and long, keeping the spine neutral. You can start to walk your blocks forward as far as you can before you start to ground through the spine. So if you're walking the blocks forward and then you're doing that, maybe one a little bit too far. Try and keep that chest long and lifted. Energetically draw the heel and the knee towards each other. Really lovely. Then we'll walk the blocks in, lift the chest up, bend back into that front knee. Re-establish the knee over the top of the ankle. Curl your back toes under. Lift that back knee up, get a little bit of a bounce into that back knee, and then step your right foot up to meet your left. Walk onto a halfway lift, nice and long into that spine. And then exhale, follow out your belly, forward. Root to rise, reach your arms all the way around and up. Exhale, hands come all the way back home to heart center. Second side, inhale, arms sweep all the way up to the sky. Exhale, follow out your belly, forward. Lift halfway, nice and long. Move your blocks back slightly, bend into your knees. So you're going to bend into both of those knees. We'll really press down through your left foot. Two options with this Shiva squat. So you can either take your right foot behind you, keeping the toes on the floor, or this time, maybe you lift the right foot off the floor. Squeeze the inner thighs together, gaze slightly forward. Little balance challenge here. That's why you've got the blocks. Undo that bind, come back into your flat back position. All right, friends, second side. You're going to bend it to your knees. Press into that right foot. Again, you get to choose. You can keep the toes on the floor as you take that left leg back, or maybe this time keep the foot off the floor. Squeeze the inner thighs together, draw the heel up towards your bum. Can you lower your hips? Lots of core engagement here. Everyone is doing so good. Foot comes back down onto the mat, coming back into that flat back position. Have a little wiggle out, little shake of those hips. That's quite intense. Bend into your knees. And this time you're going to step your left foot back. All the way there. Again, take a moment. Make sure that your feet are hip width distance apart or wider. Allow the back knee to descend down onto the mat and untuck the toes. This time you're going to bring your right hand to your thigh. Bring your left hand to your thigh. Lift your chest up and then energetically draw the heel and the knee towards each other. Maybe you stay here, or you can reach your arms all the way up to the sky. The wingtips of your shoulder blades gently draw away from each other as you lift up. See if you can lengthen through the neck. So good. Hands come all the way back down onto those blocks. Heel toe the front forward just a few inches past your knee, and then shift the hips back, straightening into that front leg, toes draw up. Bend back into the front knee and drop the hips a little lower. Exhale, we press back into our half monkey God pose. And then inhale, we come forward. This time we'll come back, force on hold in our half split. Maybe you stay here with a nice and neutral long spine. Or maybe you start to walk the blocks forward until you find yourself rambling. So we'll walk those blocks forward, press the heel down, pull it in towards the back of the mat. Imagine that you can create a ripple in your mat. So, and then we'll come back into our lunge, bending into that front knee and re-establish the knee so that it's back over the ankle. Curl the back toes under, lift that back knee up. That runs lunge, a little bit of a bounce into that back leg. Step your right left foot up to meet your right. Halfway lift is nice and long into that spine. And then exhale, we hollow out the belly and fold forward. Root your eyes, reach your arms all the way up to the sky. And then exhale, hands come all the way back into heart center. Really nicely done. We are going to try to face the plant. Bring it on your belt. This is an episode of Sesame Street. Today's class is brought to you like front belts and blocks. The magic number is 3. So take your feet out for wide as feels comfortable for you. You can pull out without fall onto the floor for a moment. So with your feet out as far as feels comfortable, for your heels in, your toes apart. Going into goddess or forced stance. So just take a moment already, draw the tailbone down, tilt your pelvis slightly forward with your hands on your hips. Imagine you're sliding down or bend into your knees. And then use the hands to open up those inner thighs and pull the outer thighs down slightly. Knees traveling over the ankles. Once you've got this, draw the tailbone down. You can bring your elbows out to the side. Elbows are in line with your shoulders, palms face forward. And we're going to press into the feet, reach the arms up to the sky, fly to stone. And then exhale, bend back into those knees. If I got this. Inhale, get to that pointed stone. And then exhale back down into your goddess. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, fly, pointed stone. And then exhale back into your goddess. Bring your hands down onto your thighs. So your fingers face down. And we're going to bring our right shoulder towards the midline where our shoulder. Inhale back through center. Left shoulder drops down, right shoulder back through center. So it's a twist, but we're staying towards the picture wall. Come back through center, twist towards the drop ball. Let's do that one more time each side. Twist to the pictures. Back through center, twist to the drops. Come all the way back through center, lift your chest and back into your goddess. Straighten into the legs, bring your hands down by your sides, parallel off your feet, and then either heel toe or jump the feet back to center. Have a lot of wriggle out those hips. And then taking it to the opposite direction. All right, my friends, one last standing pose, and then I'll get down to the mat. So lifting up your belt. We are going to use it. We're going to just bring it along to look at it. Rotate those legs out again. It's why it just feels comfortable for you. First time with feet and then moving parallel with the short edges of your mat. Then ever so slightly, it's such a small movement. Turn your toes, your big toes in. So it's almost kind of like feel the inner thighs engaging. Take your belt behind you. And just like we had when we were on our backs, once the belt with your thumbs down and your fingers curling under. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Then imagine that you can pull the belt out. So you've got this push pull, this motion, so much yin and yang. Exhale, follow forward. Coming into a flat back position, keep that tension on the belt. Notice what that's doing to your chest. And then follow all the way down to the ground, drawing the front of the head towards the floor and reaching your arms up towards the ceiling. This is Prasaripasana C. Keep that tension on the belt, push, pull, deep breath in, full breath, and use your next breath in to come up into a flat back position, bringing the belt to the ceiling. And then lift all the way up to standing. You can throw the belt away gently with the trust. You toe your feet together or jump them together and circle out the shoulder, circle out your hips. You're getting nice and open. Both hands face the top of the mat, always on top of the mat. Hopefully your shoulders feel so open now that when we do a sun salutation, it's just like we're going to take off. Inhale, sweep your arms around the mat. So much space. Exhale, pop out your belly. You've got forward. Lift halfway, nice and long into that spine. Exhale, fold forward, bend your knees. Either plant your hands on the mat or blocks. Step your left foot back, bring your feet up to the mat. Step your right foot back, bring your knee down onto the mat. Come off the blocks. Take your shins out to the side and onto a seat. Make sure your blocks are close by and you have anything that you like to use for Shavasana. With your feet planted on the floor, Charlie's Angels off those fingers and reach the arms forward through your shoulder blades away from each other. So it's almost like the shoulder blades are hugging around and forward. Find a cat pose in your spine, and then we'll unfurl down to the mat, inch by inch. Once you get down, take a really big full body stretch. Reaching your arms overhead, taking your legs out long, circling out your wrists, circling out your ankles. We're going to come into one of my favorite shapes, but it's my least favorite leg to say because I've got a funny accent. So it's kind of, it's a supine crescent pose, but it's more commonly known as banana answer, I can't say that word. So it's like one of those yellow bendy fruit things. You're going to keep our hips exactly where they are on the mat. Walk your feet over towards the right side of the mat. So the hips are staying where they are. Ready? You've got this calf yellow fruit shape. Then shimmy your shoulders over towards the right. Arms are overhead here. Big side body stretch. And you've got a really nice shoulder opener as well. Both shoulders down. This might be enough for you, but if you require a little more, you can cross your left ankle over your right and circle your left wrist with your right fingers. It just helps to give a little bit more length. Big side body stretch here, softening wherever you can. If you took the bind, release that bind, shimmy yourself back through center. And then we'll take it up to the other side. So you're going to take your legs over towards the left corner of your mat. Your hips stay exactly where they are. Then shimmy your shoulders over towards the left. So your hips stay where they are, but the shoulders and the legs shimmy over to the side of the mat. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you cross your right ankle over your left. And you can always circle that right wrist with your left. By the left hand side body. See, you can breathe exclusively into your right lung. Or slowly start to come back through center, release the bind. If you took the bind, shimmy your way back through center. Hug your knees into your chest, give yourself a squeeze. Plant your feet on the floor, find your block. Lift your hips up and place the block underneath your sacrum, underneath the flat bit of your back. For a supported bridge pose, really gentle back bends here. Hands down by your side. Shimmy the shoulder blades, one and then the other underneath you. Just give yourself a little bit more opening into the chest. This might be enough for you if you're craving a little bit more length into that front body. You can take the legs out long, pressing the heels down on the mat, getting a great big length into that front body. Gently press the back of your head into the mat. Opening arms through the front foot. If you straightened into the legs, bend back into the knees, plant the feet on the floor. And then start to draw your knees into your chest and elevate your feet up towards the ceiling for our waterfall pose. We've already been here today once with the yoga belts. So notice how this one feels different with the support underneath your back and just gravity itself doing work. This is a very gentle inversion. It's also very cooling, very softening. Start to bend back into your right feet down onto. Lift your hips up, move the block, place it off to the side. Pause for a beat with a neutral spine. Then hug your knees into your chest. Drawing your nose towards your knees, knees to nose. Inhale the big in the belly. One more sip. One final sip. Exhale, opens you out to the really big starfish shape, spreading your arms and your legs, your fingers and your toes. Open your eyes, open your mouth, stick your tongue out. Lion's breath, release your breath. Yes. And then draw everything back into the midline and set up for Shavasana as final resting pose. And any props, any layers, anything you require to allow your body and your mind to function, to relax, to restore, to replenish. I will be here holding space, following you back when it is troubles. Continue keeping your breath and start to bring your attention back into the room and back into the space. Become aware of the sounds, sensations. And invite movement back into your body by wiggling your fingers and wiggling your toes, circling out your wrists and your ankles. Maybe rolling your hair from right to left. And even taking a great big full body stretch. When you're ready, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a great big hug and whisper to yourself, I love you. Slowly roll over to your right hand side and pause here for a few rounds of breath to allow those luxury moments of your practice to take hold, marking the transition between your practice on the mat and your practice off.
No rush, no pressure. In your own time, press it into your top hand, and with a heavy head, bring yourself all the way up into a comfortable seated position. You can keep the eyes closed. Have a nice self-focus as we bring our hands to heart center, in whichever position feels the most authentic for you. We bow our heads in gratitude and thanks for all that make us us, including our strong, unique, wonderful, and amazing bodies. In gratitude and thanks for a warm, safe, and comfortable space in which to practice. And gratitude and thanks for friendship and community that bring us together. Shanti, peace. Thank you. As always, dear friends, it is such an honor and privilege to get to share your time, get to share your practice. So thank you so much for that trust. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. We've got some really